Hey, what's going on, guys? I am very excited to try this beer right here. That's right, the Pink Deer beer. In my unboxing I said that was a deer because it was a slip of the tongue. It is clearly not a deer, it is a pink elephant. Quite interesting. It says Delirium on the front. This is the Delirium Tremens or Tremens. I actually printed a paper on this because it's really interesting and fascinating, the history of this beer. I don't want to go by memory. A lot of times when I'm talking about facts for things, I'm going by memory. But I don't want to screw this one up because all the Belgian and beer connoisseur viewers will rip me apart for it. So, what I found out was that this is a world-renowned beer. In fact, it has quite a bit of history. Okay, let's see, awards. Delirium Tremens was named Best Beer in the World in 2008 at the World Beer Championship in Chicago, Illinois. Also, there was a book by Stuart Callan, which gave it the #1 spot in the 50 Greatest Beers in the World book. So it's world renowned. This is known by many beer circles as the Holy Grail of beer. So I can't wait to try it. The name is also very fascinating too. So let's read about that for a second. Delirium Tremens is Latin for trembling madness, commonly nicknamed the DTs, indicating a violent sickness induced by withdrawal after alcohol abuse, although it is commonly thought that sufferers hallucinate pink elephants, which may explain its use on the beer's label. That's a very cool little tidbit. The most common animals seen in Delirium Tremens hallucinations are cats, dogs, and snakes. So there's a big, bold statement on this beer and a very cool story behind that pink elephant. I know it's not random, so now I know the actual story behind it. Very cool. So, what else? Let's see, it came out in 1989, it's 8.5% ABV, and it is a Belgian strong ale. It says Delirium Tremens was launched on the 26th of December in '89. The beer uses 3 different yeasts and is packaged in a bottle that is painted to resemble Cologne ceramics. The label exemplifies the different phases of the production of Delirium Tremens and that the pink elephant was up and ready to conquer the world. In 1992, the Confrérie van de Rose Elephant Brotherhood of the Pink Elephant was founded to promote Delirium Tremens and other beers of Melle, or M-E-L-L-E. Again, much apologies go out to the Belgian viewers for butchering certain words. I will learn. You know, you got to make mistakes to learn, right? But anyway, I'm trying here. I'm trying. So again, this is 8.5%. I'm reading the back here. Triple fermentation. 330 milliliter bottle. Official Belgian product. Let's see. Good to 10/2016. All right. So anyway, we are going to crack into this. Like I said, I am very excited to try this one. Now, although this beer does not necessarily go with this glass because this is a different beer, this is a very ornate glass that I did not yet get to use. So that's the glass I'm going to be using in this video. So there you go. So, no further ado, I have the bottle fly, or I'm sorry, the bar fly, which is basically the newest version of the bottle fly of old. All right, so nice little mist on that. Look at that, a little bit of foam growing, just a little. Ooh, that's interesting. Oh my God, it keeps growing. Better just pour it. Okay. So here we go. Lighter in color. A lot of head on this. Probably poured it a little bit too fast. So let's see, it's dissipating a little bit here. I'll let this relax for a second as we smell it and see what's going on here. Okay, well, as far as color, I actually want to go outside because it's a cool night and I'm actually sweating pretty bad right now. But I want to give you a proper coloring. The last one I did on the Chimay Blue, it was super dark, which was an inaccurate, you know. If you're watching a beer review, you probably really have a thing for beer. Or you're just trying to be entertained, which is cool too. But if you are a beer connoisseur or you really do appreciate fine beer, you kind of want to see that color. It's part of it. So important, I figured I'd show this in this one. So this has a pale yellow. It's kind of a darker yellow. It's got actually just a really nice color to it. I'm a fan of a lot of darker beers, but this one looks appealing. As far as the smell, I smell the alcohol on it, but I'm picking up on a lot of different fruit too. And yeast, fruit and yeast. As far as the fruit, maybe like a little bit of pear, light apple, like crisp, refreshing fruit smell. Not like some of the darker dried fruits. Some of the beers, some of the really dark strong ales that I like, not just Belgian too, but other styles, they have a very rich, sweet, heavy, almost syrupy, like prune and dark cherries and stuff like that. This is the opposite side of the spectrum. Bright, refreshing smelling. Like I said, crisp, maybe green apple, pear, stuff like that. Smells good. All right, the head's died down. So we're going to take a sip. It's gonna happen eventually, right? So cheers. Wow. Oh man, that's really interesting. I gotta try it again. That is super, super smooth. It's actually, wow. It's light, it's refreshing, but it's complex at the same time. I don't really taste the alcohol too much on it, even though it's a higher percentage of alcohol. But I have this weird like coating in my mouth, like an alcohol coating, if that makes any sense. If you took a shot of a hard liquor, you have like just a light coating, almost like a really, really light numbing feeling. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but that is really good. It's definitely, it's got some spice to it. Not spice like pepper spice, like hot spice, like a spice you'd use in food. Not cinnamon, maybe like a little nutmeg or something. Allspice, something along those lines. You smell a lot of yeast in this, a lot. As you bring it up, I mean, especially, you know, due to the shape of the glass here, all that concentration of aroma hits my nose as I'm going to take a sip, and it's very, very strong in yeast. And the second it goes in the mouth, that dissipates right away, and you no longer have a strong yeast flavor. But you know, like I'm saying, as you go to sip it, you're like, wow, it's super yeasty, very bready, and then it goes in the mouth, and you have kind of lighter fruits. Those spices, the spices are kind of in the background, but it's super smooth and it's refreshing. It's really refreshing. Perfect carbonation on this. Carbonation similar to, I don't know, I guess soda. It's not overly done, but it's not flat by any means. I apologize for Gus. Check out Gus over there. What's that noise in the background? Is it like your grandpa sleeping on the couch? No. Let's bring this down a little bit. If I can figure out how to use the tripod I've been using forever. Let's zoom in and then find his face. That'll be fun. There it is. That's the noise. It's right there. Gus. Everyone's looking at you. Yeah. Sorry, buddy. You can go back to bed. You guys ask. I figured I'd show you. That's what's making the noise. It's too damn cute. Now he's looking at me. He's like, really? Seriously? You woke me up for that? Oh, man. This is really, really good beer. Is it my favorite beer I've ever had? No. But that, it doesn't have anything to do with the quality of the beer. It's just the style of the beer. Beer is, like a lot of different hobbies, completely up to one's personal preference. You can have the tastiest steak in the world, and if you give it to someone who doesn't like steak, they're not going to enjoy it. And same goes with beer. And I think what happens sometimes, like many different hobbies, in this case, there are certain beers that are put on a pedestal and, oh my God, this is the very best. You have to like this. And if you don't like it, for some reason you feel like you're missing out, or you don't know what you're doing, maybe, don't feel like that. If you drink a beer and you enjoy it, that's the whole point. If you enjoy that flavor, whether it's a $4 bottle of beer or a $30 bottle of beer, you want to enjoy it. That's the end game there. But I'm really, really enjoying this. It's fascinating, it's interesting, and the best thing about trying different beers is be able to experience different types of flavors. You know, before I had this, I've never had a beer that tasted like this. When you get into the macro breweries and stuff, you know, Budweiser, Coors, you know, all that stuff, a lot of it just tastes the same. You know, it's so watered down and thinned out, and it has no character and no age on it, and no life to it. You know, if you're slamming 6 beers back because you had a hard day at work and you want to forget about it, that's not about flavor. Okay, that's about getting drunk. You can do that with any liquor. But I think most of the people who are watching this video and videos like this are really after new experiences and trying new flavors within beer. So just really fascinating. I really, really like this one. It has something to offer I've never had before. So it's just, I think it's the most refreshing of any beer I've had that's over 8% ABV. Most really strong beers are very much dessert beers. You know, after a nice meal, you sit down maybe with a cigar or a pipe, or even if you don't smoke, just a nice glass of beer, and you sip it, and you have one bottle. That's it. One glass filled, or one bottle, or however you know, consume it. And you call it a night. You're not looking to get drunk or anything. You're just looking to, you know, enjoy those flavors. It offers a lot. It really does offer a lot. I feel the warming in my mouth from the alcohol. I feel it in my throat. Very similar to some medium peppers, medium pepper heat. You know, you start getting that warming sensation. After the burn dissipates, you have that just a little bit of tingle. I get that with this beer. And I don't get that with a lot of the other beers, even some beers that are much stronger in the alcohol content. But really nice. Really nice. That yeast flavor, when I first started drinking beer, experiencing different types of flavors within beer, like hops. Hops is a very specific flavor. Tasting barley in some beers that it really stands out. Obviously, you know, wheat. In this case, yeast, you know, most of those flavors were off-putting. You know, when I first had a really hoppy IPA, I was like, what is that? That is strong. When I had my first, you know, really bready beer, and it just super yeast punch in the face, and just, you know, super filling too. A lot of these beers, I mean, this is a meal, you know. It's not, you can't, even if you wanted to, you couldn't drink, you know, 5 or 6 of these things. It's just not, it's not that type of beer. You know, it's something you have one and you sip on it and you enjoy it. But really, really nice. Once again, there's that color there. Just a beautiful beer. The pear is unique. I've never really had like a pear flavor. It's kind of pear and apple. It's very subtle, by the way. I think to give a good explanation of this, if I had to put a percentage on it, it would probably be, let me take another sip and kind of give you numbers that'll better specify the flavor profile. Because I say it tastes like pear. It's not like drinking pear juice, nothing of the sort. So let me sip it again and kind of get a better understanding as I explain to you in numbers. I would say that it's probably like 50 or 60% yeast. It's strong in the yeast flavor up front. The second you swallow, you get the fruit flavors. And again, it's kind of a mixture of things. It's not very specifically pear or specifically apple. I'm getting even a little bit of not a citrus at all. I don't even know what that, it's just another type of fruit. Like maybe a slight tropical fruit flavor, but it's mostly pear and apple mixed together. It's like a fruit cocktail. But, you know, in the background, it's not in your face fruit cocktail flavor. It's as if you, I don't know, took a big bite of sourdough bread and then took a little sip of the juice from a fruit cocktail, you know, a can of fruit cocktail. You know, imagine that. It's to someone who's had this beer, that's a little, you know, not the best description, but for someone who's not used to trying an array of different types of beers, that's a place to start in your mind as far as what this may taste like to you. But somehow it's really refreshing. That's what, out of all the, you know, all the hype with this beer and best beer in the world and all that kind of stuff, what does it do for me? It offers a specific flavor profile I've never had before, but it's refreshing. It's strong and carbonated, excuse me. It's a strong beer, but it offers that refreshingness that I don't get from other similar beer styles. And there's still that spiciness on top of that fruit too. I get, if I had to pinpoint it, it's probably an allspice type flavor, but just outstanding. Really, really interesting. So there it is. Delirium Tremens. I hate when I say something wrong. Please excuse me if you are you know, a Belgian viewer. But fantastic. Highly, highly recommended. I think it's definitely up there with you know, if you're really into your beers and your craft beers, and specifically if you're in the States, if you're in America and you really want to try something outstanding, you know, I've been blown away so far with these Belgian beers. And I know Belgians are very proud of their beer. And you guys have some of the best beer in the world, quite literally. And you're known for that. And if you're in the States and you can get your buddies together and stuff, because not everyone could just go down, you can't go down to your liquor store and get this, okay? It's too hard. And that's the setback for a lot of people who are into the craft brews and stuff like that. You have to find these specialty shops that sell this specialty beer from all around the world. But if you reference my unboxing video, that company will send the liquor out here to the United States, and pretty much anything from Belgium. You want to try their chocolates, you know, anything else. Like, I highly recommend it. You saw how everything was packed up perfectly. From what I understand, all the prices are very reasonable, and that's an opportunity to try something you know, that's normally not available. But you know, do it as a group. It could be costly, so if you and a couple buddies, you know, want to get in on it together and, you know, split the cost and do something like that, it'd be a great experience to try this stuff. But I feel very you know, blessed and honored to be able to have tried this. So highly, highly recommended. Very good beer. That's it for me. I'm going to probably head outside for a little bit. It is, I don't know if you can tell, I'm sweating. I am sweating. It's hot. So it's actually funny. Well, it's not funny, but the nights have been pretty cold lately, and now all of a sudden it's a warm night. So just not used to it, I guess. That's all for now. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys enjoy the weekend, as I'm sure I will post this on a Friday. So happy Friday, and hope you have a safe and happy weekend. And I will see you guys soon.